Hello everyone. So welcome to Introduction to Node.js course by Newton School. So Newton School is an initiative taken by a bunch of IIT graduates. So where we teach about like core computer science. Okay, who wants to strengthen the computer science skills? Who wants to develop a full stack web applications? Okay, so we are offering some courses on that. So Launchpad is an initiative taken by Newton School where we focus on people who are looking for a career transition or who want to learn the fundamentals of computer science, or you are a student you want to learn some basics of computer science. So this is what like we offer you. So this introduction to Node.js, like all the Launchpad courses are free of cost, and we also provide as completion certificate for you. Okay. So if you want to enroll into any kind of course, you can go to your school website. You can enroll in yours. You can sign up for login. After login, you will be landing in this kind of page. Okay. So here, like if you go down, you'll be seeing like all the currently going on courses and all the courses that we have like introduced in the Launchpad. Okay. So if you want to apply for any course that you are interested in, so click on apply. So fill in the application for some basic details, like the college that you have studied, the city that you are currently located in, and the graduation, and how it heard about Newton School or Launchpad. Okay. So after like filling up the application, you can get enrolled into the course. Okay. So after enrolling in, so you can see all the enrolled courses in your tracks. So these are the tracks that I am enrolled for. Okay. So these are the tracks that you will see. Okay. So for example, if I open this, so this is a course. So here, like you can see all the sessions that I have completed till now. Okay. So here, if you want to, if you had any doubt regarding a session or regarding a topic, you can click on add a doubt button. You'll redirect into some form where you can ask us the doubt, like what is the title of the doubt and what is the a detailed description of your doubt, or any if you want to like discuss any code snippets, you can attach those code snippets in attach a playground. So then you can submit the question. We'll try to like come back to you as soon as possible. Okay. For example, if you want to know like what the doubts that your peers have, click on doubts forum. Okay. So here you can see like all the doubts that your peers have. Okay. So if you want to like play around some set of code or play around some Node.js code or JavaScript, any kind of code, you can click on playground. Okay. So in playground, I will go to this open editor. Okay. So which I have created. So here you can see. So here you can see three parts. Like one is the console where I will write the code. Okay. Another is like where I input some data. Okay. So this part like where I'll get some output. Okay. So here you can customize this IDE for any kind of language that you prefer. Okay. So that is about like Newton School. Uh, so like please do check the website and try to enroll the courses that you are interested in. Okay. Moving back to the session. So until now we have completed about the Node.js part. Okay. So today we are trying to cover about MongoDB. Okay. So in this session we mainly focus on database. Okay. So what are the database that we have? What are the different types of databases? So why we are focusing on this set of MongoDB? Okay. How can we implement MongoDB? So from this session, like we'll focus on those things. Okay. Okay. So what you will learn in this session. Okay. So you will know about like what is the difference between SQL and NoSQL. Okay. What is MongoDB? Why we are using MongoDB? What is MongoDB Atlas and MongoDB Compass? Okay. So what is Mongoose package? Okay. So basically we'll start with differences between SQL and NoSQL databases. So you might know about like what is a database. Database is nothing but a collection of some records or some collection of some documents, or it is a collection of some data. Okay. So we can say like database is nothing but a collection of data where we store some set of data. Okay. So in that storing, like we have like two different formats. One is structured query language, which is SQL represents, and another is NoSQL means no structured query language. Okay. So what are the differences between SQL? So if you see like SQL is nothing but the data will be in this table format. Oh, sorry. So the data will be in this table format. Okay. For example, you want to store some person details. Okay. Then what will the person details? Will have a name, will have a age, we'll have his or her phone number, we'll have the gender, we'll have the email ID. Okay, so all those 5 features will be represented in column format. Okay, so the name will be in this column, the age will be in another column, the gender will be in another column. Okay, so the n number of persons will be represented in row format. So the first row represent the details of the first person, the second row represent details of second person, and so on the nth person details. Okay, so this is like how the SQL database stores the data in a table format. Okay, so that in a database we'll be having n number of tables. In each table we'll be having columns and rows. Column represents a feature and row represents a record for us. Okay, then what is NoSQL? NoSQL doesn't have any this kind of table-like structure. It just stores in a document format. Okay, so here if you see what is the data storage model? So in SQL databases, we store the tables with fixed rows and columns. Okay, the rows will be fixed and columns also fixed. Okay, so what about NoSQL databases? All the records will be in document format, which is also which we can also say in like JSON document format. JSON is JavaScript object notation. So in simply we can say the key value pair. Key is nothing but a feature for us, and value is nothing but a record. So for example, we have taken the person example. So we'll take same over here. So how it will look in a particular document, we have a key as name, the value is Ravi. Okay, we have age is like 20, or we have a gender as male. Okay, so this is like key value format, which is nothing but a JSON object, JSON document. So that is how the data will be stored in SQL and NoSQL. So what are the examples? Okay, so SQL is like a set of rules. These are set of rules. So what are the database that we currently working like for implement SQL and NoSQL? So we have using Oracle, MySQL, okay, Microsoft SQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL. Okay, so coming to NoSQL, so like what are the different databases that are available currently? One is MongoDB and one is CoachDB. So there are like n number of NoSQL database. Like we have taken the most popular ones. Okay, so coming to schemas. So what do you mean by schemas? So if I so when I say like a person details, so what are the person details? Name, age, gender, phone number, all these things. Right? So this is schema. Okay, so once we fix the schema, that schema will not be changed, even though person has any email ID or not. Okay, if the person has any phone number or not, that data should be passed. If there is no email ID, we should pass it as a none or nan values. Okay, no data available. Okay, not a number. So in that way, like we'll pass the data even there is no a particular value available for it. So that's why SQL database schemas are rigid. Okay, but coming to NoSQL databases, the schema is flexible because as is storing in key value pair, okay, for every record, if there is no value, you can ignore that key also. Means if we don't have any phone number data for the particular person, you can also ignore the age feature and also phone number feature. Okay, so that's why it is flexible. So the scaling is vertical and horizontal. So we'll discuss about scaling in the next slide. Okay. So what about joins? So if you like, you know about SQL databases, SQL databases are mostly popular joins. So combining two different tables based on a certain column. Okay. We'll join those two tables into single column, into a single table. Sorry. Okay. So coming to NoSQL database, that is not required. We have because we have an ID for each thing. Okay. So these are the main differences between SQL and NoSQL databases. So here, like they mentioned, the scaling, which is vertical and horizontal. So what do you mean by scaling? For example, so we have a database, okay, of like 1 GB, okay, which of storage capacity of 1 GB. If you want to scale it vertically, what you will do? You will add some so in a single database, you will try to increase its capacity, like for 1 GB, like to 2 GB or 3 GB, 4 GB. There's a single hardware thing, but you are trying to upgrade a single hardware database. Okay, but coming to horizontal scaling, if you have a single database of 1 GB RAM, what you will do is if the if the 1 GB RAM 1 GB storage is full, you will try to purchase or build a new database of again 1 GB RAM, 1 GB storage. Okay, so in the vertical scaling, we are increasing the size of its instance. Okay, we are increasing only like single thing into like a bigger capacity. But in horizontal scaling, we're adding similar instances, like multiple similar instances. Okay. So in detail, like how can we, like what is the advantage and disadvantages of it? Like if you can see, this is vertical scaling and this is horizontal scaling. Initially, we both so in these two cases we start with like one CPU. Okay, this is like one CPU of 1 GB RAM. Okay, how much it costs? It costs $10 a month. Okay, so for if you want to do vertical scaling, what you will do, you'll add another like will get a CPU of 2 GB RAM, which costs $20 per month. Okay, so if you want to do vertical scaling, you have a CPU of 1 GB RAM. You will try to purchase a new CPU of again 1 GB RAM. It will also cost the same $20 per month. But like if you go on adding in this way, if you go on scaling in this way, like vertical and horizontal way, if you want to have a CPU of 8 GB RAM, then the cost will be like $80 per month. Okay, but if you want to yeah, like not 8 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, it will cost $80 per month. Okay. For example, if you do the horizontal scaling, you will have 4 CPUs of 1 GB RAM each. How much 1 GB RAM CPU costs? $10 per month. The four costs 4 into 10 will be $40. So here, if you can see, there is like the price is like a very varying between these two things. Not only a price, but also if there is any kind of uh, failure happening, like a single point of failure is happening, like a failure is happening. Okay, then the whole data will be lost in the vertical scaling because the whole data stored in a single CPU, right? The whole data will be lost. That is a disadvantage in the vertical scaling. But coming to horizontal scaling, the data is distributed across these CPUs. Okay, even one CPU is damaged, the other three will be like 11 will be left with some data. Okay, so that is an advantage. Okay, but there is also some disadvantage again in this horizontal also. So if you want to retrieve some data, you should pass through, like you should communicate between these all these four CPUs. That will like most like it will take more time to communicate between all the four CPUs. But whereas in a vertical scaling, there is only one CPU. There is one enough communication. All the data is present in a single CPU. Okay, that's an advantage of vertical scaling. So we should select our database based upon our use case. We cannot blindly go and use MongoDB or NoSQL DB or SQL DB as it is trending. No. So try to analyze your use case and try to figure out which suits you best and what are the advantages and disadvantages that you get. Okay. So that is about difference between SQL and NoSQL, like vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. Okay. So basically, like so now what is a MongoDB? Okay. So MongoDB is nothing but it's just a simple database. Okay, where it is implemented based upon NoSQL schema, NoSQL database program. Okay, so it is classified as NoSQL database program. Okay, so it is a cross-platform document-oriented database program. Basically, it is not like specified to a single platform. It's like not only like specific, very specific to Windows, or it is only very specific to Linux. No, that's not the case. Like we can like you can use the MongoDB across any platform. So that's it's a cross-platform oriented database program. So how does the data is stored in the MongoDB? So we know like in SQL database, the data will be stored in table format. Okay. So coming to MongoDB, the data will be stored in JSON format, which is nothing but a document format. So in JSON format, how the data will be, like it will be in the key value fields. Okay. So key will be the future, and the value will be the value of a particular key. So why we are using MongoDB? So for example, so recently NoSQL database is got a very hype because they are able to like work very well with the large set of data. Okay, so if you see the growth of data for last 10 to 15 years, so the like last 5 years, like there is a exponential increase in the data. Okay, so if you want to like handle the data and do some operation on that data, so seems that Mongo like NoSQL database are performing very well than the SQL databases, because in real world the data will not be a structured way. Okay, the data will be like a very unstructured way. Okay, it will also be not semi-structured, but it will be like unstructured. So that's why MongoDB coming like NoSQL database comes into picture, where the real world data is also unstructured. So the NoSQL database also doesn't have any schema like rigid schema. It has a flexible schema. So that's why this sync up well and works well with the very power works very well with the real world data or large data. Okay, so that is the one advantage. Like, that is why we are using MongoDB. So the second thing is MongoDB's horizontal scale-out architecture can support huge volumes of both data and traffic. Okay, so we'll go to the previous slide. Okay, so here we can, if we consider the horizontal scaling thing, so if there are like so much amount of data, the data is uniformly distributed across all the CPUs. And also, if you have like lot of traffic coming into your server, the traffic will also get distributed across these four CPUs. Instead of directly putting all the load on a single database, we have the four databases. Okay, so that's why this is both data efficient, traffic efficient. Okay, so MongoDB, so we can use the MongoDB from any language like Java, Python, JavaScript, anything like we can. So that functionality is provided. So these are the main advantages, that why main reasons why we are using MongoDB. Okay. So now what we'll try to do is, okay, we'll try to take a tour of MongoDB Atlas and also MongoDB Compass. Okay. So what is MongoDB Atlas? MongoDB Atlas is a cloud storage which is being provided by MongoDB. Okay, so Atlas is nothing but a cloud storage for us. So in the cloud storage, like we can get to choose AWS, Google, GCP, or Azure, anything. Okay, so it is basically a cloud storage that we can use, like we can store our data. Okay, so go to this link. Okay, try to sign up over here, like clicking on start free. Okay, after that, okay, you'll be redirected into page in this way. Okay, so after like logging in using this MongoDB Atlas, you'll be redirected over here. Okay. So now, yeah. So now after like redirecting over here, if you can see, like go to the, so MongoDB Atlas, like you got an idea. It is a cloud storage. So now what we'll do is we'll try to configure this cloud storage so that we can use this cloud storage, with our like MongoDB shell or Compass, like where we'll do some operations of like creating some database, creating some documents, adding some documents into this. Okay. So after signing up, go to this network access. Okay. So what is network access? So here we are giving some permissions. Okay, who can access this particular database. Okay, so for example, you are the only person who is using this particular like cloud storage. You can specify your IP address. Okay, your local IP address or whatever, like your IP address. Okay, so if there are like some set of people, like there is a team for you. Okay, like 5 to 10 people. So those 5 to 10 people only like using this database. Then you can gather all those team members IP addresses, and you can add over here, like click on add IP address. Okay, you can add all these IP addresses over here and click and confirm. Okay, so the third case is, so if you want to put your database in a public manner, so that everyone could access it. Okay, so then what you can do is, I'll try to delete these ones. Yeah. So this is what, like how you will see, like when you click on the network access. So now click on add IP address. Okay. So these are the two options. Okay. So whether you want to restrict this cloud storage to some set of people or a single person, click on this add current IP address. Okay. Okay. So otherwise, like you can, if you want to do like, if you want to allow this thing for everyone, you can click on allow access from anywhere, so that so this IP address will be assigned, so that every person can be able to access this particular cloud storage. Okay. So that's why I'm clicking confirm. Okay, so this might take some time. Okay, so meanwhile, we'll go to second thing called, which is database access. Okay, so we'll also delete this thing I have created earlier. This is how it will look when you go to the database access. So to use this cloud storage, so you should do like there are two prerequisites. One thing is like you should add the network access. The second thing is you should also add the database access. like who is using this database. So what I will do, like I will create a new database user. What is the username? So I'll name it as test. Okay. So here you can like select like the authentication method. Like so, I'm simply using the password authentication. Okay. So the password is root. Like I said, as a root. Okay. So you can also give privileges. So as we're creating a user, so what is the privilege of that user? Or like what are the operations that he or she can perform? So whether he is restricted to read and write to any database, or he is restricted to only read the database instead of writing to it. Okay. So or should we make it a admin? Admin, like you can read and write, delete and create any set of thing that he or she requires. So we are making so this like this user as a admin as of now. So we'll click on add user. So it will take some time to create this thing. Okay. So in the meantime, we'll go to the clusters. Okay. So if you see in clusters, so cluster is where our data is being stored. Okay. So this is basically, yeah, this is basically a free cloud storage. Okay, of like there are only some set of clusters that we can create. If you want to like access, create more clusters and do some develop a huge web application, you can purchase your MongoDB like thing. Okay, so we'll go to this collections part. Okay, so here if you can see, the collections is nothing but a data that we collections is nothing but data. So here if you can see there is no data as of now. Okay, so what we'll do is, okay, so what we'll do is we'll try to click on connect over here. Okay, click on connect. So how you want to connect this cloud storage? Okay, so whether you want to connect this cloud storage through a Mongo shell, okay, or you want to connect this cloud storage through your application, like for example, there is a shopping cart application. Okay, so where all the data stored in the cloud storage. So you want to connect it with the server. So the retrieving happens to this through the server and this cloud storage. So that is a connect your application. So connect your MongoDB. So shell is like a CLI thing where we'll do in this form, like we'll perform operations through this. So if you are more of a GUI kind of guy, so you can you download the MongoDB Compass, so which will look in this way. Okay, I'll click on connect again. Yeah. So what I will do is like I will start with the connect with the Mongo shell. Okay. So if you don't have Mongo shell installed, click on I do not have the Mongo shell installed. You can get like what is the version that you want to do download. For example, okay. So if you can see like what is the operating system. Okay. So click on required operating system, download the MongoDB shell and install it. Okay, that will be that's it. That's it. Okay. So once you install it, you will be having a like a URL kind of thing. Okay. So what is the URL? There is an URL. So try to read the instructions below it. Okay. Replace my first database with the name of the database. That connections will use by default. Okay. So you'll be prompted by the password. Okay. That's all. Like we can just copy this thing. Okay. As I have like MongoDB Mongo shell already installed in my local machine to check it. So you can like Mongo. Sorry. Yeah. So try to like type in Mongo space hyphen version. If you're able to see this thing, which means the Mongo shell is installed in your local machine and the environment path is also set. Okay. So what is the version for like current version? It is 4.4. Okay. Now as I copied this thing, okay, we'll try to paste it over here. Okay. So do this, add password. Okay. So what is the password? Which is root. Okay. So my database name is test. Okay. So after that, so if you can see, so I am able to connect to the cloud storage, my cloud database. So I will try to like do some operations on it. So that's it. Like you just copy this URL, okay, paste it in the CMD, okay, and add and like you should do two things like after pasting it. One is like rename the my first database to the database name, which is nothing but database username, and also add something called hyphen hyphen password and the password of the user, okay, which is root. Like after like filling all these things up, you can press enter. Like you'll be able to communicate to the cloud storage. Okay, now what we'll do, like we'll do some operations on this thing. Okay? So first thing is I will try to show DBs. So what are the DBs that I have? So I have like admin and local DB. They are the currently we have only two DBs. So what if I want to create a new thing in this test? Okay. So if you can switch to DB test. So if I again ask for like show DBs, okay, it is like okay, fine, fine. So what we'll do is so DB dot so we have created DB called test. Okay. So there is a DB created which is named as test. In this database, we will create some collections. Collections are what? Tables in NoSQL, tables in SQL. Okay. So DB dot create collection of books. Okay. So books is nothing but a collection over here. Like I want to create a normal collection. Okay, where I want to store some data. So collection is what a table. Okay. Yeah. So if you can see, like after if it is successful, you can see something like this. Okay means we have successfully created a collection named books. So how many like collection we have? Only one collection. So that's why we got one. Okay. So we got the key hash and all these things. Okay. So now we'll try to go over here. So we successfully connected to the Mongo shell. So we'll go to the collections. See, we have created the test database, and in the test database, we have something called books collection. So earlier we not able to find it. Like earlier it was asked like to create a database. So through our CMD, through our Mongo shell, we are able to connect to this. We're not only able to connect to this cloud storage, we're also able to create some database and create some collections. Okay, now so there are no records in this. Okay, the database like the collection is empty as of now. So we'll try to add some data. Okay, how can we create add? So here in collections, it will store all the records in document manner. Okay, so we have a database. In the database, we will be having multiple collections. Each collection will be having multiple documents. Okay, now as we created database and collections, we'll create a collection document as well. Okay, so db dot books dot insert of. So I'll create something called title. Okay. What is the title? So title is nothing but 100 days of code. Yeah. So we also add something called like author. So author name is like yes. Okay. So say press enter. So you can see some message called bright result. N inserted. How many inserted? One. Because like we are only inserting one record, so we are getting one value over here. So here, if you can see, I will try to refresh it. So here you can see we have created like created document which consists of here. What is document? Document is of JSON type. Okay, JSON object, JSON document. Okay, the JSON document, how the data will be stored in a key value pair. So what is the key over here? Title. Okay. Okay. What is the value over here? The value like basically like 100 days or like whatever the user entered the record value. Okay, which is 100 days of code. The other key is like author. Its value is ABC. Okay. So these are the basic operations that we can. So they're like more like broad implementation, broad functionalities that we can use. So these are the basic basic understanding about like how we can create an Atlas like MongoDB Atlas account. After creating, how we can able to like create a network access, like who can access, like which IP address can able to access this cloud storage. Okay, what is the user of this cloud storage, and what are the user privileges, whether he is only a read only person or read and write person, or is an admin. So we can configure all these things. Okay, so later on, so by clicking on connect, we are able to like connect this cloud storage to our application, to our shell, or to our compass. So now we have seen how we can connect to this shell. So what we will do, like we'll connect to the compass. So connect using MongoDB compass. Compass is nothing but a user interface implementation of this Mongo shell. Okay, who doesn't interested in writing shell commands, so they can use this compass, which is a GUI implementation. So if you have this, if you don't have MongoDB compass, you can already get download option over here. You can download it and install it. Then you can see some URL over here. Okay, so this is how MongoDB compass looks like whenever it's open. So it is asking for some SRV. Okay, so this is nothing but a connection string. Okay, so I'll try to copy it, try to paste it over here. So if you can see, whenever like you are trying to use the connection string, try to read the comments. Okay, so what is this? You will be prompted for the password for the test users database username. Okay, so here, instead of password, so instead of this string, replace it with the password of this test database. Okay, so what is the password? Root. Okay, try to connect it. Okay, so here if you can see, we have created a database called test. So in the database, we have like multiple single collection books. In those books, until now we have only created one record. So which book? What is it? Record? It's a document. So it's this is what it is, like title, other thing. So if you want to, okay. So if you want to add some data, okay, again, 100 days of ML. Okay. Now there is Nehru. So again, like we are again inserted some data. So we got a message, successful message called one record inserted. Okay. So if we try to reload this again, we try to go to the collections. So here you can see we got the other document also. So similarly, we'll also check in the MongoDB compass. So here you can see like there is a refresh. Oh no, not here. Here you can see refresh. Here we got the latest document. Okay. So I guess like I have covered all these things. We have covered like SQL and NoSQL. We got like what is MongoDB, why we are using MongoDB, what is Atlas. Atlas is nothing but a cloud storage. Compass is nothing but a GUI implementation of Mongo shell. Okay, so we'll discuss Mongoose package in tomorrow's session. So that is for today's session. If you are interested, please enroll into this Newton School. You will also get a certificate for completing the course. So we'll meet in tomorrow's session where we'll discuss more about Mongoose package and also connecting. So until like what we have done. 1 second. Until now we have connected to two things. One is MongoDB and another is Compass. In tomorrow's session, we'll try to connect it to an application, and from VS Code or from some code implementation, we'll try to connect to this cloud storage and do some operation like inserting, deleting, creating, updating, and all these things. So we'll focus on tomorrow on the things on tomorrow's session. That's it for today's session. Thank you.